You're watching Eswatini TV News at 10. I'm Nosile Sitole alongside Sicelo Kunene. First, here's a look at our headlining stories. His Majesty King Mswati III says Eswatini is committed to taking full advantage of opportunities availed by digital technologies to seamlessly deliver government services to the nation. The Minister of ICT, Senator Savannah Mazia, has called on countries to collaborate in order to advance technology. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Simon Zwane, says the ministry is gathering data to identify gaps in municipal service delivery. And now the news in detail. His Majesty King Mswati III has informed world leaders that the Kingdom of Eswatini is committed to taking full advantage of opportunities that are availed by digital technologies to deliver seamless government services to the nation. His Majesty delivered a keynote address at the official opening of the 12th World Government Summit in the United Arab Emirates, where His Majesty is accompanied by Nkosikazi Magela Mahlangu.
His Majesty King Mswati III joined other heads of state in discussions that focused on shaping the future of governments and adopting new technology innovations to address the most critical challenges affecting humanity, enhancing highly effective governance in areas like service delivery and empowering the youth to build a prosperous future. Leaders, policymakers, and industry experts met to discuss urgent topics like the role of artificial intelligence in governance and in transforming economies. The sustainability of governments to render proper services to the people hinges on their ability to adopt innovative strategies to enhance their performance. His Majesty informed leaders about progress that the Kingdom of Eswatini has made in integrating ICT in its operations. The King called upon countries to align economic growth with environmental responsibility and social equity, saying that the digital transformation of Tinkhundla proves that Eswatini is on the same path.
Your Majesty, King Mswati III, and Ngwenyama, Head of State of the Kingdom of Eswatini, we invite you to deliver the opening address.
His Majesty says Eswatini is counting on artificial intelligence to implement initiatives like Government in Your Hand.
Eswatini's government's model is a testimony to the power of harmonizing tradition with modernity. Our Tinkhundla system is founded on inclusivity, consultation, and community-driven development principles that ensure governance remains deeply rooted in needs of our people. Recognizing the need to evolve, we have embraced reforms that drive transparency, efficiency, and citizen engagement. The digital transformation of governance has been a key focus, ensuring that technological advancements empower rather than exclude. At the heart of our vision is innovation-driven development, a commitment to leveraging science and technology to accelerate economic and social progress.
The King assured the world that the Kingdom of Eswatini stands ready to contribute to the key thematics of the summit, while also embracing new ideas from other countries.
In the Kingdom of Eswatini, we are committed to building a smart government that is efficient, citizen-centric, and technology-driven. Our vision is to harness digital technologies to improve service delivery, eliminate inefficiencies, and ensure that all citizens have access to essential government services. We are prioritizing e-government solution, Government in Your Hand. We will leverage the potential of artificial intelligence to make this vision a reality.
Forming part of the royal delegation are cabinet ministers who will engage on issues touching on their portfolios. This is a report by Sandile Makanya and Tabiso Dlamini in Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
The Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, Senator Savannah Maziya, says countries can achieve great results if they can collaborate with the common goal of advancing technology. The minister was speaking at the ongoing 12th World Government Summit in the United Arab Emirates.
The minister was part of a panel discussion with the Minister of Digital Technologies in the Republic of Uzbekistan and the Minister of Information and Communication Technologies in the Republic of Colombia. The panel discussion was centered on the topic, "Is the world ready to embrace the next wave of digital disruption?" The minister spoke passionately about the need for countries to embrace collaboration to advance technology.
But most importantly, I think it's a chance for us to collaborate as a world, to deal and lead differently. We seem to have led from a position of, this is mine, I will not share it with anybody, and I do not want to be able to have anybody else progress. This is a time for us to have a leadership that says we collaborate around the world, let's learn from old lessons, and let's figure out how we make the world digital, but friendly, but safe, and ensure that it's cost effective, because around the world, not everyone can be able to afford to access where we're going. But we need to be able to ensure that nobody's left behind. We need to be able to ensure that women are also part of the conversation. And most importantly, we need to ensure that the youth are part of the conversation.
The minister says Eswatini will reach new heights in technology from its memorandum of understanding with the government of the United Arab Emirates.
We're also looking at a relationship where we continue capacity building. And one of the things that we're talking to the UAE about is the coding experience, which I'm glad to hear others have also been a part of. We're looking to be able to say in the next 2 years, how can Eswatini be able to train 300,000 coders? Now that may be very little in countries that have very big populations, but we're 1.2 million people. So for us, that number is quite substantial and quite important. We've also been able to learn about how do you ensure that you allow government to really work with the private sector, because sometimes as government we're over here and the private sector's over there. We don't really collaborate.
This is a report by Sandile Makanya and Tabiso Dlamini in Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
The Honourable Minister of Tinkundla Skhumbuzo Dlamini says government is working on a new project designed to improve security across the country's chiefdoms. The Honourable Minister says the project aims to address concerns related to crime and the safety of traditional leaders.
The Minister of Tinkundla says the Tinkundla system, which is the basis of Eswatini's political structure, relies on the chiefdoms as a crucial component, and chiefs are custodian of Swazi culture and upholding traditions and ensuring their continuity through generations, hence their safety is crucial. The Honourable Minister of Tinkundla Skhumbuzo Dlamini says it is for that reason that the ministry is working on improving security for local chiefdoms.
Emaphakathini akuvalelwe kwanze ukuthi kubiyelwe ngaloku jabulisako akungeni noma ngibani noma ngikuphi alibe linye lesango lengena emphakathini lokho siyakusebenzisa silitiko lokuthi imphakathi ayiphephe lokunye ke sisafaka labo fenisi siyivayela imphakathi sibuke ukuthi kufuna siyikhanyise futhi imphakathi emphakathini ekukhanye kuze kuthi kubede mathabela ngodi la ngangena emphakathini sitawukhumbula ukuthi lapho libuya khona live letidlamlilo lama terrorist angena semiphakathini alimata abantu emphakathini ngoba lemphefumulo silitiko sesisukumile ke lokuthi akukhanye emphakathini akuvayeleke emphakathini.
The Honourable Minister says chiefdoms serve as a unifying force within the community, fostering a sense of belonging and identity through shared customs and tradition. He says the project aims at addressing concerns relating to crime, emergency response times, and the safety of residents and community leaders. He further says this project is designed to bring a higher level of security to the chiefdoms, ensuring that eMaswati can live and work in a safer environment. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Zimuva Shongwe, Babane.
Ministry of Housing and Urban Development Principal Secretary Dr. Simon Zwane says the ministry is gathering data to identify gaps in municipal service delivery, particularly infrastructure maintenance, including buildings and roads. The Principal Secretary says one of the reasons municipalities struggle to provide adequate services is revenue collected from rates is not always sufficient to cover all necessary operations.
The Ministry of Housing and Urban Development together with all the towns and cities and town boards in the country we are working on a plan that we will propose to government in terms of upgrading and maintaining the infrastructure that is found within the urban areas, particularly roads. As we are aware, when you go into towns after the heavy rains, there's a lot of damage that has been caused by those rains, and a lot of money is required to repair. But we are also aware that there's a lot of infrastructure upgrade that is required.
The Ministry of Education, together with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, with the support of the Taiwan Embassy, have launched a youth skills competition in the fields of cooking, baking and automotive technology. During the event, the Honourable Minister of Education was represented by the Undersecretary Naniki Mnisi, while the Minister of Labour and Social Security was represented by the Undersecretary Anthony Masilela. The Ambassador of Taiwan to Eswatini, Jeremy Liang, was also present at the event.
The Taiwan Technical Missions Technical and Vocational Skills Certification Enhancement Project has been the backbone of the skills competition. Over the past years, this initiative has contributed to the improvement of skills training facilities, including ICOT, Kwamile, and DIVT. The Taiwan ambassador to the country, Jeremy Liang, stated that the project will help participants to enhance their product to meet international standards.
Today, Eswatini is taking a crucial step forward, and I'm confident that this competition will have a lasting impact on the development of technical and vocational education in the country.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Naniki Mnisi, is representing the Minister of Education and Training, Honorable Owen Ngumalo.
They are able to open their own businesses or even employ other fellow Swazis, Emaswati, and also bring economic growth in the kingdom.
The competition is named Eswatini National Skills Competition and started in August last year. A total of 105 participants from different regions of the country took part. In the cooking category, 40 participants competed, while the welding category had 35 participants, and the automotive technology category had 30 participants. Selection rounds were held in December last year, where the number was reduced to 59 participants across all categories. Now only 30 competitors remain, 10 in cooking, 12 in welding, and 8 in automotive technology. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Bongan Masuku, Happy Valley, Zulwini.
The Eswatini Water Services Corporation Managing Director Jabulile Mashama says companies have a duty to support government in achieving Eswatini's sustainable socio-economic development goals. The MD has said this when EWSC donated school uniforms and laptops to Ekwetembeni Special School.
The Eswatini Water Services Corporation, through the Spread Love initiative, during the week of Valentine's Day, they go out and show love in the communities they serve. On Tuesday, EWSC staff members visited Ekwetembeni Special School to donate teaching laptops and uniforms to empower both educators and the students with better learning opportunities. The donation was presented by EWSC Managing Director Jabulile Mashama.
Contributing to the sustainable development of the country. So sineso corporate social responsibility program ke le ibuketha inhlangothi letiningi letifaka ekhatsi indzaba tekuphila ka healthcare, tindzaba education, tindzaba nje letonke letilhlupho eveni. Siyati ke thine siyinkampani ukuthi ngaphandle kwalemimango kude lesingaba ngiko siconza kahle ukuthi kusimama kwayo kusita ukuthi kusimame lelive kusimame na Eswatini Water Services. We're calling on companies as well to actually step up and ensure that we take care of the communities in which we do work in, because without making sure that they're sustainable, we will not have business tomorrow, we will not have a nation tomorrow. So it's incumbent upon all of us that have got some forms of productivity that we go out there and we ensure that we uplift communities. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here at Ekwetembeni School for the special needs children. We have been educated. We came with a big team from Eswatini Water Services just to learn, to understand what is it that the nation is faced with and what are the challenges that are out there.
Ekwetembeni Principal Lindiwe Mhlanga said some learners had ripped up school uniforms.
Sibonge kakhulu konke labasendele kona bafike bantwana babaphathele emakhompyutha, babaphathele emakhekhe, babaphathele ne-uniform. Sibonga kakhulu, ngiyathemba nakubatali kutaba injabulo lenkulu nabafika bababona sebakhokha i-uniform. Labanye babo vele kuba bede kakhulu bebahawulisa. Siyabonga kakhulu.
For the Spread Love initiative, EWSC is also to rehabilitate a woman's maternity ward and build an outpatient waiting shelter at Tlatsikhulu Government Hospital, and the project is costed at over 600,000 emalangeni. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samgal Swekoza with Mova Shongwe, Babane.
Business Eswatini has highlighted the organization's key expectations from this year's budget. The president, Mvuselo Faguze, says they are aware that there might be a decline in the total budget this year, but they are hoping that the minister will focus on key areas as he tackles the budget. The Youth Chamber of Commerce Industries Eswatini has also outlined areas of more support in the budget.
Youth unemployment for me, in general unemployment, but youth unemployment mostly, is a very big concern for Emaswati. And I think if we're going to grow this economy, we do need to, both in private sector and in public sector, work together to grow the employment base so that young people in particular, can find jobs. And obviously completing capital projects that have been ongoing for a long time. The ICC has been ongoing, and the hotel, all those projects have been ongoing for a long time, so that government can start new projects. We hear there's a new parliament that's going to be constructed. Would like to understand how budgets are going to go into that, because all those projects can contribute to new employment opportunities. But also the social sector, we've seen a lot of strain in the past year in the health sector in particular. So we hope that not only that the budget will be allocated, but that all outstanding, payments to suppliers to the health sector can be cleared, so that people that supply can be paid within 30 days of supply to government. We wish to have a more efficient government in its cash flow management. So we're looking forward to hear from the minister how he's going to, address those sort of issues.
The Youth Chamber of Commerce Industries Eswatini says they need to see more action and results.
The Ministry of Commerce just launched its SME policy, which is clearly set a roadmap for how we actually can improve the state of our MSME in the country. The only issue that will be there is the investment into the policy implementation. So no, we're expecting direct investment into that MSME policy that was recently launched.
Last year's budget was at 29.4 billion emalangeni. The Minister of Education received 5 billion emalangeni, being the biggest chunk of the budget. 194 million emalangeni was for the OVC fund and 647 million emalangeni was for scholarships. The Minister of Health received 3 billion emalangeni. 909 million emalangeni was allocated to the Deputy Prime Minister's office to support social sector services. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Fuminkosi Nzinisa Mbambane.
The Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, together with the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, is engaging stakeholders in the development of an e-commerce strategy with the support of the International Trade Center and the European Union. The Director of Communications at the Ministry of ICT, Andreas Dlamini, says government has made a commitment to strengthen e-commerce through regulatory framework, and all that is left now is the strategy.
Yeah, so e-commerce has been here for quite some time. There has been quite a lot of uptake from businesses in e-commerce, but it's still quite scattered. Not all businesses are taking advantage of it. They're not always using formal mechanisms as well to sell. They don't have a payments gateway to be able to receive payments. So the idea of trying to formalize, make it a little bit more sophisticated, safer, more trustworthy, is what's underpinning our work at the moment in Eswatini.
The Director of Communications, Andreas Dlamini, urges everyone to participate as the strategy is meant to grow participation of business in e-commerce, ensuring better returns. He says the government has the regulatory frameworks in place.
If you look at the NICE policy of 2006, National Information and Communication Infrastructure Policy of 2006, you can see that the country did actually try to put something to show that we will be taking e-commerce as a serious part of our economy.
The Youth Chamber of Commerce Industries Eswatini says the development of such a strategy will help youth-owned businesses to make meaningful profits.
Some of the costs associated with businesses are, like, for example, transport. So now once we sort of become or make e-commerce such a normal thing for any business to be able to participate, it will drop down our sort of cost for running the business, which will also now start to make our businesses, our especially the small ones, much more profitable. It will also be able to help them get to other markets that they cannot get to right now. So I think
The consultations will involve support organizations, e-commerce players and consumers, fintech and finance organizations. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Fuminkosi Nzinisa Mbabane.
You're still with us here at Eswatini TV. It's news at 10. For now, let's have a look at our financial indicators.
Standard Bank.
Moving on to sports, Mazini Wanderers Supreme Court case has entered its second day before Judge Sabelo Matsebula, Judge Ngulego Hlope and Judge Margaret van der Walt.
Manzini Wanderers' case at the Supreme Court proceeded on Tuesday before Judge Sabelo Matsebula, Judge Ngulego Hlope and Judge Margaret van der Walt, where Premier of Eswatini submitted an urgent application challenging a judgment of the High Court that was released last year that if needs be, teams should be increased to either 15 or 6 teams in order to clarify the mistake that saw Manzini Wanderers getting relegated. However, the court decided that the judgment will be influenced by the judgment yet to be released from Monday hearing, where Moreni Pirates and Chimo Moses representatives failed to provide records of having appealed at the High Court. Manzini Wanderers in the matter are being represented by Mduduzi Tsotsimabila, while Moreni Pirates and Chimo Moses are being represented by Lucas Mazia. Premier League of Eswatini is represented by Merulegi Ndlangamandla. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
Pelican Swimming Club coach Meluleki Smelane says the performance displayed by different swimmers in the last Pelican Swimming Gala is a confirmation that swimmers are ready to take part in this year's national championships. Smelane was speaking during the swimming gala at Njabulweni in Mazini.
We are having 169 swimmers who are part of this event, and there's number parents now who have come here to support their kids. So namhlanje igala egcina ye season yaka ESA, and then we're gonna have nationals and month end, and then we have a competition just like we have Hailey Hoy, now you corner now one of our Olympians. We have the likes of Dementi Souza, top athletes that are here to swim in this competition, because them swimming here, they are preparing themselves for nationals. So it's a good exposure for them. It's a good exposure even for the little ones.
I'm trying to get back into training. I'd like to start training twice a day. I have already. I'd like to start coming first, more breaking more records. I haven't broken a record in a long time, and I think it's time to get back and focus.
This is just kind of to gauge where I am, the scholar, in preparation for nationals. Also, I'm swimming something else after nationals, so that's also sort of seeing where I am and how far I need to still go.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our headlining stories. His Majesty King Mswati III says Eswatini is committed to taking full advantage of opportunities availed by digital technologies to seamlessly deliver government services to the nation. The Minister of ICT, Senator Savannah Mazia, has called on countries to collaborate in order to advance technology. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Simon Zwane, says the ministry is gathering data to identify gaps in municipal service delivery. And with that, it's a wrap. I'll leave you now with the weather update from myself and the team. Thank you for your company. Take care.
Introducing Cousin Celeste's latest look.
And these are the best part. They are limited edition.
Like me.